Standard Time. Today is Monday, July 14, 2025. And you are tuned into War Notes. Disrespect, harassment, or slurs are not welcome here. Cross those lines and you'll be blocked and reported. Now, let's talk about Trump's tariff threats to Russia, how Moscow is reacting, and why this matters, even on American soil. Stay with me now, and I'll repeat this whole briefing a second time for new listeners. President Trump has issued a stark ultimatum to Russia, agreed to a peace deal in Ukraine within 50 days, he says, or face up to 100% secondary tariffs on Russian energy buyers. He's also announced Patriot missile deployments to Ukraine and urged NATO partners to finance them. Now, how has Russia responded to all of this? I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, how did Russia respond to all of this? How are they responding to all of this? Surprisingly, the ruble and Moscow Stock Exchange, they rose, suggesting investors see Trump's threats as, quote, hot air, and, quote, likely to be extended or never fully implemented. Now, Kremlin spokespeople dismissed the tariff warnings as diplomatic bluster only. Unofficially, analysts say Russia isn't concerned, noting bilateral trade remains tiny and sanctions already restrict most flows. Deeper implication, Moscow perceives the U.S. as all talk lacking follow-through, and this isn't just happening overseas. Within the Republican Party, infighting and civil unrest are bubbling. MAGA hardliners criticize Trump for making empty threats, while moderates praise the display of strength. That internal fracture could weaken national policy cohesion and heighten domestic anxiety. So what should you do? Well, you have to start preparing mentally. You have to stay informed and limit your anxiety. And physically, you have to ensure your household has essentials: food, water, medications, and communication batteries. Emotional wise, you have to stick close to the ones that you love the most. Express your concerns, but avoid panic scrolling. Welcome, Diane, and you can be in the program or you can scroll some other videos, but I welcome you here to the live if you wish to be here. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Miss Diane, EXIVAZ, to the room. Thank you all so much. Everybody say hello and shout out to Diane. And hello, Paven. Welcome to the room. Welcome to the room. There's a few things that folks should start preparing for, and being that folks are just jumping in now, I'll go ahead and repeat the broadcast starting now. And you are tuned into War Notes, and I shall say welcome Senior or Sir Hellcat, I believe it is, or Novas. Welcome SRTH Helicat to the room. It's Pavin or Pavan. Oh, okay, Pavan, by the way. Okay. I'm so sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. But welcome everybody to the room. This is War Notes. And I shall say before I continue, no disrespect, harassment, or slurs. They're not welcome here. And when you cross those lines, you will be blocked and reported to YouTube. Now let's talk about Trump's tariffs threats to Russia, how Moscow is reacting, and why this matters even on American soil. So if you stay with me, then you can hear the rest of the information that you need to know, going from U.S. to Russia and back and forth. And there's so much going on, but I'm just briefing it up just a little bit for you all here. Thank you all again. And it's Pavan, so thank you. And I am Pavio. All right, so President Trump issued a stark ultimatum to Russia, agreed to a peace deal in Ukraine within 50 days or face up to 100% secondary tariffs on Russian energy buyers. He's also announced Patriot missiles to be deployed to Ukraine and urged NATO partners to actually finance them, is what he's saying. And how is Russia responding to this? Well, surprisingly, the ruble and Moscow Stock Exchange, they rose, suggesting investors see Trump's threats as, quote, hot air, end quote, likely to be extended or never fully implemented. The Kremlin spokespeople dismissed the tariff warnings as diplomatic bluster. Unofficially, Analysts say Russia isn't concerned, noting bilateral trade remains tiny and sanctions already restrict most flows. But Moscow perceives the U.S. as all talk, lacking follow through. And this isn't just happening overseas. Within the Republican Party, infighting and civil unrest are bubbling. MAGA hardliners criticize, well, okay, no problem. All righty. Okay, so thank you everybody for being here. And I must say that it says SRTHELICAT that I welcome into the room. He said, suck dick. Excuse my suck duck. Oh, I thought it was dick. It's suck duck. Okay, so we will suck duck. All righty. Okay, I appreciate that. I don't know if that was a mistake that you meant to write, but I'm going to go ahead and handle that now. As I said, I should. And I just don't like any form of harassment, bullying. I just don't feel it's okay. And I won't tolerate it. Okay. All right. So we shall continue because we want to keep it respectful for everybody in the room. So MAGA hardliners criticize Trump for making empty threats, while moderates praise the display of strength. That internal fracture could weaken national policy cohesion and heighten domestic anxiety. So what should you do? You should start by preparing mentally, stay informed, and limit anxiety. Physically, you should ensure your household has essentials, food, water, medication, and communication batteries. Emotionally, stick close to loved ones, express your concerns, but avoid panic scrolling. And remember, this is not the end of the world, okay? It's a high-stakes negotiation masquerading as economic warfare. Cities won't collapse, but markets may jolt. Gas prices could fluctuate, and public debate will get louder. But let me say that again for anyone tuning in late. You know, Trump threatens Russia with 100% energy tariffs unless peace is reached in 50 days. And Russia's currency and markets rallied, dismissing the threat as bluster. Now, inside MAGA and the GOP, party fractures deepen. Hardliners accuse Trump of empty threats while moderates applaud his stance. This means Americans, even on the mainland, should calmly prepare mentally, physically, and emotionally for economic unpredictability and political tension in general. So thank you all for listening. I thank everyone for being here, even the ones who don't even know what they're saying sometimes. Some people just jump into the lives. And let me say this for all my listeners. For all the rude people out there and the people who go into people's lives and harass them and do whatever they do because they have nothing else better to do. And usually it's that, especially if the person that is reporting or doing a live at the moment is being very respectful, not disrespecting anybody on the other end. Then you have some folks who just come in, they just bored. They're sitting in their home. They're bored. They're probably at work and they're bored. They don't have much to do with their lives. Remember that. People in general who antagonize other people, whether or not it's in a chat room, whether or not you receive a comment from somebody, if you guys are YouTubers on here listening to me too as well, let's say somebody gives you a bad comment, don't troll that person. Don't respond back with a bad comment. Call that person out for what they wanted to be called out on. So this person came into the live room and I thought he said the D-I-C-K word, but he put D-U-C-K. And this is after me repeating already twice that you cannot harass or come in the room and say disrespectful things that can offend other people. And so I am a person that I'm realistic and I understood exactly what he meant when he put suck duck, right? So I called him out for what he is. You have to let people see when they're ignorant, when they're ridiculous, when they're stupid, when they have nothing else better to do. They're bored. So this person was bored enough and I was interesting enough to him. Think about this psychologically. I was interesting enough for him. Like one guy came in one time and he said, go pick cotton. Another guy came in, and he said, "Hey, no offense, but you look like Rosa Parks." And I said, "Well, thank you for the comment." Now, naturally, I know that that was a racist commentary. However, you have to put people on blast for what they're in need of. And these people are in need of attention. That person who said, "Oh, go back to the cotton field." The person that says, "Oh, you look like Rosa Parks." The other person who says, "Go suck duck." I mean, it makes me laugh. You want to know why? Because I'm smart enough to know that these people are full of ignorance and they have nothing else better to do. And so they take the special time to acknowledge me. That means they have told me that I'm more special than them. They've taken their precious time to come into my life just to give me comments. I think that's a good comment. Rosa Parks was a beautiful lady. Go pick cotton? Well, I'm glad that my ancestors picked cotton for me now, because now I'm able to wear all those clothes that y'all get made and that y'all got on your bodies too. The same ones who say go pick cotton. Well, yeah, that cotton that's clothes on your back. So I guess you're wearing it. So you support the cause. Soon you'll be out there picking cotton too, I guess. But, you just have to be honest with people with the information that they by themselves put out there. So when that guy came in, and again, I referred to this guy who put in the comments, "Suck duck," I called him out on it, right? And then I reported him because that's exactly what he deserved. So I gave him his name. He came in with the username SR. I don't know if it's supposed to be for the Hellcat or Surf Hellcat. Let me spell it so everybody can look it up. SRTHELICAT. So he came into the room and he took his precious time or her precious time to put "suck duck." And so I read it out to the whole entire room. And before I could report this person, because I have put this disclaimer in my live already that I report anybody who is rude in here or disrespectful in any type of way, shape, or form, and I will report it and make it be known. And so it's funny to me that these same folks who do this, before I give them about a minute of time, see if they want to correct their actions, if they want to say something productive, maybe they want to apologize, maybe they want to kind of mend whatever stupidity they just did, right? So I give them about a minute or two, and then I go ahead and I block them and I remove their negative comment from the live briefing. But before I do that, these people, they already leave because they're embarrassed that they just realized that somebody called them out using the same information that they provided on their own. Why would I call this person out by their username and then say their message if they didn't come in the room and put the message in the chat? So folks that's listening, you got to call people out when they're doing idiotic things. You got to call them out. You got to be honest with people. And sometimes the truth is always going to, matter of fact, not even sometimes, the truth is always going to hurt. People get rattled. People get uncomfortable when they hear the truth. The truth makes people feel uncomfortable. So make people feel uncomfortable. Tell them the truth. Let them know what's really the deal. And when people come inside of my lives that I take my time in order to speak with folks about real news and real live updates, kind of irks me a little bit. So I have to kind of talk about it a little bit. And I have to let people know, if you come in my live and you are rude, outrageous, or if you say anything out of whack, I am going to call your username out. I'm going to say your message. I'm going to spell your username, and I'm going to let you feel embarrassed on your own behalf. I'm going to let you feel embarrassed for even going in a room and making such a comment. So again, I thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for listening to me rant, but I think that rant was more than special to hear, okay? Because I believe that it'll help somebody. I'm Pavio G, and this has been War Notes, episode 149. And if this briefing hit home, please subscribe, share, and stay prepared. No disrespect, just respect and readiness, okay? And take care of yourself and each other.